Hello besties, welcome back. Thank you for stopping by. So in this video I'll be showing you how I made this gorgeous tiered skirt which has 4 layers. As you can see, the inspiration on the left corner of the screen and my recreation at the middle of the screen. I'll also be showing you in this video how to distribute your gathers evenly across your fabric, which can work for any gathers or pleated dress you want to make. So you might want to stay to the end of this video. So grab your seats and let's go. So here with me, I have this 6 yards of Ankara fabric, and then I'm going to make use of lining as well. You need about 2 or 3 yards of lining according to your size. So I'm going to be marking all my measurements on the lining. So here I have the full length of my skirt, which is 41 inches on my lining. So at the hem of this lining, I'm going to cut about 12 inches away. We're going to be replacing that place with our Ankara fabric. As time goes on, you're going to see how I'm going to do it and you're going to get it. But let's take away 12 inches. So that 12 inches is going to be the length of all our layers, of all the Ankara layers. It's going to be 12 inches. So this one I'm cutting away will be replaced with the last layer of our tiered skirt. So I'm just going to secure the ends with my pin like so it doesn't move when I'm cutting it out. So I'm just going to cut it out now. So let's place our lining on fold like this. The remaining length here is 42 inches after removing 12 inches from the hem. So let's go ahead and mark the front measurement. So we're going to mark our hip measurement divided by 4 like you are saying, and then I'm going to add 1.5 inch for his, and then I added extra 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So that is the measurement we're going to use to place our lining on fold. So this is the front. I'm just going to cut out the front pattern now. So I've also gone ahead to cut out the back. The only difference in the back pattern is that I added 1 inch for zipper allowance, or 1.5 inch rather for zipper allowance. That is the only difference. Every other measurement is the same for the back. The length and the width is the same, just that I added 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and cut open the back like so, because this skirt is going to have joining and zipper at the back. Just keep watching. I'm going to show you how to fix your zipper as well. So now the next thing we want to do is to take our front piece, the front lining, and take your back lining as well. Place it together like this on the side, and then we're going to stitch with our 1 inch allowance. Then take the other back piece as well, place it on the side, and then we're going to stitch it just like we stitched the first side. It's just like making a straight skirt, but this one does not have a curve. That's just the difference. So this is the Ankara fabric that will be pleated on the last layer. That 12 inches we cut away, this is it. It is 3 inches long and the width is 13.5 inches. I added 1.5 to the 12 to make it 13.5. So this is the hem. We're going to mark 1 inch like this, and then we're going to fold it twice like this and then stitch on it. That is the hem. So we're going to do that all the way to the other end. Part of the reason why I added 1.5 inch stitching allowance. So let's pick our lining. As you can see, I'm going to stitch both sides like I showed you earlier. So let's take the Ankara fabric. As you can see, I have stitched the hem. So you place the rough edges, the place that was not stitched, you place it on the hem of the lining. As you can see, right side facing right side, and then after about 1.5 inch, you will not start pleating from the beginning. You start pleating after 1.5 inch. So as I'm pleating it, you are going to do it like that, and then you are going to stitch it with about 1/2 inch. So you are going to do that all the way to the end. So I'm going to show you how to pleat it and the trick on how to distribute your pleats evenly as we progress. So this is what our skirt looks like after pleating it. As you can see, we have successfully replaced that 12 inches that we cut away before. So this is it. So these are the other layers. It is the same 13.5 inches wide, and then as you can see, I'm gonna to stitch all the hem just like I did for the last layer. So the layer that will be coming from the waist, the first one and the next one following it, the second one, are all 4 yards long, and then this one, second to the last or the third layer, it is 3 yards long, just like the last layer. So the first 2 layers is 4 yards long and the last 2 layers are 3 yards long. So now for the third layer, or the second to the last layer, we're going to place our tape rule on that line, on that point. I hope you can see that is 10 inches. You know our layers are 12 inches long, but we're going to mark 10 inches upward because I want the remaining 2 inches to overlap the last layer. So I'm just going to mark that 10 inches across till the other end. So let's pick the Ankara fabric that is for the third layer, and then I'm going to show you how to plait it. So we're going to place it right side facing right side like this. We're going to face it upside down. As you can see, you let the hem face the upper part, and then you place it on your machine like this. Just pay attention to what I'm doing so you understand, in case you're not getting my oral or verbal explanation. So you first do a straight stitch with about 1.5 inch before you start pleating, because we're going to join that back and we don't want to sew on the pleating. So after that 1.5 inch, I'll start pleating. So just like how I showed you how to pleat for the lower layer, so you are just going to keep pleating it as well till you get to the other end. So you are going to pleat it following that line that we drew. Make sure not to derail from that line. So I told you I was going to show you a trick on how to distribute your pleats evenly. So as you can see, I have pinned the mid part of the Ankara fabric to the mid part of our lining. So I pinned it together. I notched the mid part of the Ankara fabric, and then I marked the middle of our skirt. So I placed the 2 points together and I pinned it. So now we're just going to continue pleating till we pleat it to the other end. So I'm done doing the pleating, and then you flip it over to the right side like this. As you can see, all the sewing and the gathers are underneath, and therefore our pleats are looking neat. So for the second layer, we are going up from that point, from that joining point, by 9 inches instead. So we're going to mark that 9 inches across. You know, the third layer we made use of 10 inches, but this time around we're making use of 9 inches. We're doing this so that everything can be equal. So as you can see, I have placed the 2 midpoints together like we did for the third layer. So now let's place it just like we did for the third layer. We're also going to do the second layer like that as well. Stitch straight for about 1.5 inches before you start pleating. So everything I did on the third layer, I'm doing on the second layer as well. So I'm done stitching the second layer, and we have about 10 inches excess. So I'm just going to cut out that part. So it is possible, it is allowed, you can cut out your excess. And then let's flip it over to the right side. So now for the pleats that will be coming from the waist, which is the first layer. So we're going to place our Ankara fabric wrong side facing right side. The wrong side of the Ankara fabric will face the right side of the lining. So we're going to pin the midpoint together like this as well. And then we're going to start pleating. So you go to the extreme end of your lining like this, and then you stitch straight for about 1.5 inch as well, like we have been doing for the other layers. After that 1.5 inch, then you start your pleat. So we're going to pleat like this all the way to the other end. Don't forget to leave about 1.5 inch on both ends. So this time around, I want to make sure I pleat all the 4 yards on my waist, because I want the waist area to be very full. As you can see, I succeeded in doing that. Yay! So for the waistband, this is it. It is 5 inches wide, and then on fold we have 2.5 inches, and on fold as well it is my waist measurement divided by 2 plus 1.5 inch for zipper allowance. So the whole length is my waist measurement plus 3 inches zipper allowance. So I'm gonna need to notch the mid part of my skirt and the band. So we're going to place it together like this, the 2 midpoints, and then I'm going to use my pin to hold them together like this. So after that, you place both ends together like this, right side facing right side, even though the band does not have any right side, but let's say it like that. So we're going to stitch straight again with about 1.5 inch. That is the zipper allowance, the first zipper allowance. So we're going to form something like little gathers, or let's say little pleats, depending on how you can do it. So we're just going to do it all the way to the other end. So I say little gathers or pleats because it is not so wider than the waist. So all we need to do is to do the little gathers or pleats to the other end. So this is it after stitching it. As you can see, we have successfully stitched our waistband to the skirt. So the next thing is to close the back. Let's place the two back or the two ends together like this, and then we're going to mark the zipper area. So I went down by about 9 inches, so I'm marking 9 inches over there. So after that, let's place the waist area equally, and then I've used my pin to hold down that part. So I'm just going to make sure the lining and the Ankara fabric are equal, like you see me doing. So I'm going to use my pin to hold it all the way down. So after putting my pin on the waist, and then I'm just going to continue using my pin to hold everything to the end of our skirt, so that I'll be able to join it smoothly and one part or one end will not be out after joining it. So as you can see, I'm gonna need to secure everything with my pin. So on that 9 inches that I went down by, which is for my zipper, I went in by 1.5 inch. Remember, that is our zipper allowance. So I'm just going to stitch it all the way to the hem with my zipper allowance. The next thing we want to do now is to fix the zipper. So on the waist, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inch. So I'm just going to mark it all to the point where I joined. So after that, I'm going to fix my zipper. So the zipper, as you can see, it is right side facing right side. So placing it like this, if you are not getting my explanation, just look at what I'm doing and you are going to understand. So I used my pin to hold it down like this, and then I'm going to stitch. So now let's place our skirt upside down like this. As you can see, I've stitched that part. So on the other side, I'm also going to mark my 1.5 inch zipper allowance. I'm going to mark it all the way to where the joining started from. So now I'm also going to pin it on that my allowance, just like we did for the first part. I'm also going to pin it there like this, and then I'm going to stitch. So now we're going to fold that part inside like so, and then stitch on it multiple times, as you can see. And then after that, you're going to fold it in like this, and then stitch on it just a little bit like this. And don't forget to do your multiple stitches so it can be well secured. So we're going to repeat the same process for the second side of our zipper as well. So I'm just going to cut away this excess part because I used a blouse zip. If you have a skirt zip, you can go ahead and use it. So our zip has been neatly sewn, as you can see. So for all the joining parts, the waist and the back, you can go ahead and weave it. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. As you can see, our skirt is ready already, and you can see the back joining is equal. All our layers are equal. So thank you so much for watching to the end, guys. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so, and please give this video a thumbs up. See you guys in my next one. Bye.